Welcome back to Hornet History. It's early June. We are at the Museum of the Waxhaws for their annual Battle of the Waxhaws event. Tons of people out here today, and we're inside the beautiful museum that they have with J.B. Houston. J.B. and I met a few weeks ago at the Charlotte Museum of History. He has had, since he was a little kid, a big interest in history, and he has created a collection over the years, specifically with the American Revolution and the Civil War, and we wanted to get him on Hornet History and talk about some of these very interesting pieces. Welcome to the show,
Thank
sir.
you, Chad. I so much appreciate the opportunity.
Tell us about yourself and a little bit more of how you got interested in this and how you started collecting Revolutionary War and Civil War artifacts.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate the opportunity to do so. Yes, my name is J.B. Houston, John Houston, from the Weddington area. And ever since I was a little kid, my father had above the TV set a set of revolvers that were Civil War, and they belonged to the brothers relating to our family back in Mount Ola, Mooresville area.
Okay.
And then one of them was a doctor. The other one was in the Confederate Army at Fredericksburg. Now, he was wounded at Fredericksburg, but he didn't pass from his wounds until the new year, January 1st, 1863. And so his brother went up to retrieve his body and brought him back, and they buried him at Mount Ola. But somehow those two revolvers remained in the family from each of the brother, one to the doctor and the other one to the soldier. And they're together framed above the TV set, and I was told, never touch these, do not touch, stay away. But being a kid, you know, it's really something that you want to go and do touch.
Yeah.
You know, bring it down, see how it works, you know, that kind of thing. And that's always been a driving force in my curiosity about other related items to that time frame, and then previous to that relating to the Revolutionary War. And so over the years, I've been able to, thankfully, somehow collect different things relating to both the Civil War and the Revolutionary War. And I feel it's important to bring out these items in an environment like this so that we can show them to children, to those who are interested, to bring them on a 3D level, bring it out of the textbooks, out of the pictures, out of the dates, out of the years, and out of the photographs of textbooks, so that you can actually pick up a cannonball, pick up a musket, understand how it works, how it related to living in the Revolutionary War days. Not only do we have the muskets, but we have plates, spoons, forks, and everything else relating to just general living. And so it's all together on the table. But right now I'd like to start with the Declaration of Independence, which brought us all of these things.
That's right. It's we're filming in 2026, and just about a month from now we're going to be commemorating our 250th birthday, which is right up there. So tell us about this print.
Absolutely. This is a lithograph produced by Theodore Oman. He came to the United States from Czechoslovakia. Okay, so he is a Czechoslovakian immigrant. I'll make that clear, immigrant. He went to the National Archives and he looked at the Declaration, and it's all washed out.
Yeah.
You cannot read it, hardly. Some words you can, but for the most part, you can't see it. But he, being a lithographer, said that I can make it so we can read it. He needed a couple of things. 1820, John Quincy Adams commissioned William Stone, who was a copper plate engraver, to make a copper plate engraving of the Declaration of Independence. He used the original document for accuracy, which could have contributed to the degradation of what we have today.
And you said this was 1826?
1820.
1820, so just before the 50th anniversary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it took him 3 years by hand to do that. 3 years. Copper plate engraving, 3 years.
Okay.
Very intricate, very detailed. Out of that, only 200 copies were made off of that engraving. Only 200. Now, these were given to some of the remaining signers of the Declaration, in addition to universities and libraries at that time. Oman knew that. He knew about that, but he wanted one of those copies for accuracy, and he actually found one. So he found one of those, but he also wanted the 1903 photograph negative before it was put into archives, and he found that too.
Okay.
So he superimposed both of those together and made this. So you can see the wrinkles in the Declaration vertically, where it was folded at some point in and on itself.
Where folds?
Yes, the vertical folds up to 1903, so it was folded in on itself at some point previous to 1903. And then you also have the accuracy of the Declaration of every sentence and signatures as they should be in relation to the original placement. With John Hancock, you even have some corrections here.
Oh, wow.
You see there's one here?
Yeah.
And there's another one
Yeah.
up there, right there.
Yeah.
So there are corrections. Thomas Jefferson wrote the document, but Timothy Matlack is the scribe who actually wrote the copy here on these lines. He was a perfect scribe. Congress knew that. His handwriting was immaculate. They hired him to write it. So when he's getting to a point to where, whoops, I didn't mean to do that, I need to make a correction, he's not going to rewrite the whole thing, he's going to find a way around it. So that's what he did. And so, but you can't see that on the original document, it's all washed out. You would have never known, right?
Yeah,
Right?
Wow.
So John Hancock was the first one who signed it. He was the president of Congress. You signed this document, you were putting your life on the line. King George III would come after you. It was risky. You didn't know what this was going to do, but you knew your name was in trouble should he be able to find this and find the perpetrators behind this document. John Hancock didn't mind that. He said, I'm going to put my name as big as he can see it without his glasses.
That's
He's
right.
going to know I put my name on it.
That's right.
Every other representative from the states, from the 13 colonies, put their name on it as they were able to do so. And they grouped it according to state. Over here, for example, we have Georgia. This is North Carolina. And every other state did the same thing as they went through. They did not sign it all at once. It took a long time for everybody to sign it, but eventually it got signed.
How did you come across getting this copy?
Well, it was in a magazine actually, advertised in a magazine, Sportsman's Guide.
Yeah.
And so I was a kid at that time, and I said, I'd like to have this thing, just have it. And so I ordered it, and it came up rolled in a tube, and I stuck it in the closet.
Yeah.
Years and years and years, it was in a tube in the closet. So finally, when I was going through stuff, I wonder what that is.
Wow.
So I found it and I unrolled it, and I told my wife, I said, we have to have this framed. I've got to have it framed. But it's not going to sit in this tube forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so we need to bring it out. And so that's what we did.
It's a crowd pleaser, that's for sure.
It is. And so it's an educational piece, because now you can actually read and see how it's written, what it was done, how it was like, how it would look like in 1776 before it was, degraded.
Now, is there a treasure map on the other side, like the movie? No.
I don't think so. That was a good question, though. You never know. Yeah, we'd like to see that. Over here, you have what's called a broadside. This is a newspaper count of what the Declaration would see in the newspaper print. Now, George Washington, when he read it to his troops, he saw it like this, not like that. It says the same thing, but it's a different format, different layout.
Yeah.
But that's what he saw when he saw it.
Fantastic.
Yes.
You've got some very interesting pieces here. I know that this is a crowd pleaser, and we've got some kid pleasers. We'll move down the way
there,
here,
yes.
and we'll get some of this. Hang on one second. Okay, so we're at your other table here. You got some very interesting pieces here. Where do you want to start?
Well, we can start from this end over here. Oh yeah, the 8-pound cannonball.
Oh boy, look at that.
It's a French cannonball. It was fired out of what's called a canon de Greville 8-pound cannonball.
8-pound cannonball.
From that cannon right there at Yorktown. We could not have won the war without the French. So this was a French cannonball that was representative of the type of cannonball that was used at Yorktown.
This is an actual
that is
cannonball.
actual, yes.
Where did it come from? Do you have any idea?
It just came to us online somewhere.
Online somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, but
boy, I would not want to be in the path of this thing getting fired out of a cannon.
It's a solid shot. When you fire it like that, it doesn't come straight to you. It bounces along the ground, and when it bounces, you don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
And so, if you've seen the movie The Patriot, you understand how a cannonball can react. Yeah.
Brutal.
Yes.
Brutal. All right. What else?
We have a signal cannon. This is an original Revolutionary War.
Can I pick it up?
Yes, sir. Cast iron signal cannon.
That thing is heavy.
Yes.
Oh my
goodness. Be
goodness.
responsible for toting another around.
No.
You would just fill it up with powder, and then here you have a place for your fuse. You would light your fuse, and it would knock the powder, and it would send a noise. That would be your noise maker.
Wow.
Time to get up, time to start moving, time to pack your tents, let's go.
Wow.
That's your alarm clock.
Yes. What about this guy?
This is a clay pipe. If you were in a tavern, they would have these pipes on the wall. And so if you wanted to smoke a pipe, you would take it off the wall and smoke it. And then you would break off the point under which you smoked.
Break it off.
Break it off, because that was the etiquette of the day. You break it off. And then the next guy would do the same thing. And then eventually you would get down to the bowl and then be useless. The longer the pipe, the longer it will last, theoretically. If you broke off more than you should have, you shouldn't, it shortens the life of the pipe.
How about that?
But then also, if it got clogged, you could break it off to the point that it got clogged and then still use it. So if a pipe this long, it somehow will, maybe the tobacco will clog up the pipe at some point. But that also is self-fixable.
Yeah.
So it's a it's a different way of smoking a pipe more than we know these days. So
yeah. Awesome.
Yeah,
there we go.
So there we are.
Okay.
So my favorite part is, one of them is when I hand people about this, ask them what they think that is.
Okay.
And it looks like a pair of scissors.
A little pair of scissors. I couldn't tell you.
So it operates differently. Yeah, so it operates like a pair of scissors, but it's a candle snuffer.
Ah!
So you light your candle, you extinguish the flame by
pinch it right off.
That's right. So when the wick gets buried into the wax, you use this point to bring it back up again.
Oh, how about that?
That was the other day. So you use that instead of blowing out your candle, getting wax everywhere, you use that to extinguish it.
Oh, wow. Beautiful craftsmanship on that one, too.
Yes, indeed. Absolutely.
All right. So, what else?
Over here we have a collection of just flat colonial buttons. The sleeve buttons, coat buttons, they're all plain, made of pewter, but different sizes and so forth. They're not uniform buttons, they're just run-of-the-day, regular clothing buttons that you would have. It's good to have these on the table.
Somebody found those somewhere.
Yeah, we got these at an antique store. You never know what you find at this place.
Yeah.
Then we go down further. Next to it is a hodgepodge of different things in this little rocker case.
Okay.
Okay. So the colonials were not able to make their own currency. They had to use it from different countries. We have a half real from Spain, 8 real from Mexico, and it's hard to read this one, but the thing is, when you have currency from that time frame and you bought something, you were due change, they would cut your coin and give you back the other half.
So a piece of 8.
Half a piece of 8. But it was legal tender back then. So you could give a half a coin to buy something if that's all you.
But they were using Spanish currency, Americans in the colonies at the time.
In Mexico too. This is a Mexican 8 real. Yeah.
Okay. What's this little
that die? That's
here.
A dice. This is my favorite thing in the whole piece. If you look closely on this dice, you'll see the red King's tax stamp, GR.
Oh
red.
Boy.
No taxation without representation.
That's trouble. They taxed dice.
Yes, they did.
Are you serious?
And it's right there for proof. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
That makes me mad. That makes me want to join a militia and go fight for independence. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
For sure.
Wow.
So I like to put this on top of this.
You can see it. Yeah. What about some of this? These long arms here.
Yeah. Now that's an interesting piece of it. Now these are representative of different types of weaponry that were used during the Revolutionary War. The top one is a reproduction Brown Bess musket dating to 1756. Okay. It's a reproduction.
Brown Bess. British made.
Well, it's from Britain. It would have been British made, but it's a reproduction.
Okay.
The company that made this, spent 2 years researching the original one. Okay. So that when they produce this, it's going to be original to the one Brown Bess as much as possible, rather than just make a Brown Bess. Let's make it original to the Brown Bess as reproduction, as best we can.
Yeah.
So that's what they did. You even see the tower on the lock.
Yeah.
And the crown stamp over here.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So this is about 75 caliber, flintlock, and it is a smooth bore.
Okay.
Underneath that, we have a 1777 original Charleville musket, French made.
Oh, French made.
French made, yes. The Patriots were given Charleville muskets.
Okay.
This is not the type of musket that were given to the French, to the Americans. This is only the French only had this.
Okay.
It was an improvement. How do you improve a flintlock? It was an engineering design. We have a flintlock that misfires. We're going to try to figure out a way to improve the misfire so that it doesn't do it as often. So how do you do that? How do you improve that?
Right.
And how do you improve it so when you hold it, it's going to be sturdy when you hold it, rather than moving all over the place. They did several things. The hammer is now heavy, heavier hammer. You can compare the difference between the Brown Bess and this one. You see the difference in the hammer?
Yeah.
It's a heavier hammer. And the lock is slanted. It's not straight like this, it's slanted. These two items in particular were invented to help improve the sparking mechanism of the flint. So that
More reliable.
Yes, so when the flint strikes the frizzen, you're going to have a better spark, it being slanted, and then also you have a brass pan, a replaceable pan. In case you need to replace it, you have it under brass.
Okay.
And so the heavier hammer against the slant in the lock mechanism, in theory, would help create a better spark. Less misfires during the time of using it. Now, to hold it, you have finger grooves underneath here. And you also have cut out for a cheek plate on the stock. So when you hold it, you have finger grooves and you have a cheek plate to add for stability when you fire the weapon.
Yeah.
More so than the other ones. So this one doesn't have any of that. Just a smooth under here and no cheek plate there.
So these are smoothbore muskets.
Yes, they are.
And they would load what? How many shots could you get off in a minute with one of these
guys? A good Revolutionary War soldier could fire 3 shots a minute. 3 shots. Load and fire. That means you're going through the whole process. You are taking your cartridge, which is preloaded powder and ball.
Okay.
You take your teeth, if you had teeth.
Bite it off, yeah.
You would bite it off.
If you had teeth.
If you had teeth.
Oh boy.
You would put a little powder into the pan, just enough. Now, after that, you would close the frizzen, just like that. That would keep the powder in the pan. It doesn't fall out, okay? After that, you would take the rest of it, load it down the barrel with your ramrod, and shove it down as nice and tight as far as you could, nice and tight. Then, when you get ready to load and fire it, you would take your hammer, pull it back all the way, fire. The flint would strike the frizzen, create a spark, ignite the powder into the pan, and also into the powder into the barrel, theoretically, and send the ball out. It's a smoothbore, which means when it's coming out the barrel, it's going to be wobbling as it goes down. It's not going down any particular way, it's wobbling. It's a pipe, actually. When it comes out to the end, it's going to hit an edge, right, left, top, bottom, you don't know where. And that determines the trajectory of the bullet. You're not going to come out straight. Accuracy, 30, 40 yards at best. It's going to come out like a soccer ball. We're wobbling down this way. We don't know where we're going, but we're going in that general direction. We don't know where we're going to go, but we're heading that way, somewhere. The other guy's doing the same thing to you. So he's firing 3 times a minute at you, and you're firing 3 times a minute at him. So the idea is get as much lead down the field as you possibly could. And the other guy's doing the same
in a line
thing.
with other soldiers.
Absolutely.
Hoping you hit something.
You're gonna hit something, yeah.
Hoping you hit something.
Exactly.
So smooth bores. Tell me about this bottom guy then.
This one,
little different.
Yes, it is. This is a rifle. Works the same way as the muskets. It has a flintlock mechanism, the same ignition system as these two. Works the same way. The difference is this barrel is rifled, so that when you put a smaller ball down it, they have 40 caliber. You're still using your ramrod to put it down the barrel, but you're fighting against the rifling to make sure it goes all the way down. These are smooth bores. It's a once and done, for the most part. Once, twice, and it's done. Here, it takes a longer time to get that ball all the way down, and then replace your ramrod to make sure it's done. But 1 time a minute, probably 3 times a minute.
So more of a precision weapon, a lighter weapon, not as stocky as this.
Exactly.
You would put a bayonet on
these, but not this. The rifle would not hold a bayonet.
Yeah.
It was a sniper gun back then. It was accurate. When you fired your bullet, it came out like a football. It's spinning. It's going to go where you want it to go. Accuracy, 50, 60 yards, depending on...
And you've got a bayonet right there, right?
Yes, I do.
Let's take a look at that.
So, it's going to get close. When it does, you're going to need your bayonet. This is an actual brown bess bayonet.
An actual period.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes, it is. 3-sided. Wounds caused by that were not easily healed.
Oof.
They would lead to infections, amputations, and most likely death, because to try to recover from that kind of a wound is not easily done.
Oh boy.
The Geneva Convention has outlawed 3-sided bayonets.
Wow. Wow.
Because of the injuries they cause. But most of the deaths caused by the Revolutionary War were done by these more so than by musket balls, because it was close inside fighting. You don't know what you're hitting with the musket ball. You're doing your best you can, but it's going to get close and you're going to need this for protection. And most of the deaths and injuries are caused by these more so than by musket balls.
That's got to be a bad feeling when you've got an enemy troops bearing down on you with those sticking out the gun and charging in, and you can only get off 3 shots a minute with your musket or 1 shot with your rifle. probably scatter a lot of troops in a hurry.
Indeed, indeed.
Whew.
So this was your own personal protection. You needed to have this. But like I said, rifles were not able to accommodate bayonets, only muskets. It's
Whew.
just the way they were made. Now this one here is a Brown Bess bayonet, a Brown Bess musket dating back to 1757. That's an actual piece. That's a fusel.
Really?
That's a fusel.
Oh, wow.
That's a fusel.
So shorter.
Yes, used for officers. Now the officers usually had a pistol. Now if they wanted extra protection, they could buy a Brown Bess fusel, which was a smaller musket compared to the one used in the infantry. It's a smaller caliber, 69 caliber. So was their pistol. It didn't matter whether they loaded their pistol or their fusel with 69 caliber, it would fit either one. They didn't have to worry about changing calibers.
And remind me the caliber for the Brown Bess is 69.
This is a fusel 69. So
And the same as the larger.
larger one would be
What
about
was the
75.
Charlottesville?
Charlottesville about 60, 70, 69.
Because I know there are archaeologists that can tell
Yes.
on a battlefield
Yeah.
if a dropped
Yes,
musket
they
ball
can.
was a Brown Bess or a Charlottesville.
depending on size. But
Depending on
Charlottesville,
which
for the
side.
most part, was smaller than a Brown Bess.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But this is a
Interesting.
fusel. But you can see, it being an original, you have the tower on the lock, same as that one over there.
Yeah.
And you have the crown stamp as well. And the hammer is almost identical to the reproduction.
Well, I'm hoping we captured that one.
Yes. So,
Well, these are some incredible pieces here. Any others that you want to point out?
yeah, we still have a little bit more to talk about if we go down the line
Yeah.
some. Spoon. That's tortoiseshell spoon.
Wow.
You have
a tortoiseshell.
Tortoiseshell, yes. You have turtle soup. You're not going to waste anything. You're going to make something out of the shell. So that was probably used by a Revolutionary War officer or somebody like that higher up who would have those kind of spoons.
Wow.
In there because these were difficult to make, I suppose, but but they used them. They weren't going to let anything go to waste.
Wow.
So yes.
I asked my boys if they want some turtle soup.
Let's see what they say. Down here we have a pewter plate. This is actual. You can turn it over, you'll see the proof marks.
Oh,
See how heavy that
wow.
is. It's a heavier plate than you would think it would be. So,
How about that?
and it's not perfectly round. It's got a little bit of wobble in it. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So this would be something that the soldiers would carry.
Well, this would be either something they would carry, or it would be something you would find on a table at that time frame.
Okay,
If you were
in
to
that time
visit
frame.
somebody,
Yeah,
a family,
yeah.
they would have those kind of plates
Wow.
to eat off of. Yes.
All right.
And then down here, we have a collection of items that were found on the Cowpens battlefield relating to, you were talking about earlier, different calibers.
Yeah.
Well, here they are. Different size calibers relating